I'm here joined with Coach Eugene. We've got UFC lightweight Dan Hooker, UFC light heavyweight Carlos Ulberg. We've got the middleweight champion Israel Adesanya, and we've got a UFC lightweight over there with Brad Riddell. Now, I feel like every time you guys fight, there's not just one of you on the card. There's always a multiple. Like, how do you guys adjust to having so many people and athletes fighting on the card at the one time? Dan?
Well, ask me.
The coach.
He puts it together.
Yeah, and from the coaching perspective and the extended team, like this is definitely not our first rodeo, so we've done this a few times. You know, the management, the trainers, the coaches, the training partners, it's kind of a well-oiled machine by now. So we've got it down to a fine art. And really it's just about everybody having that same tunnel focus, that tunnel vision towards one goal. And everything we do, you know, leading up into the camp and especially running into fight week is all basically focused on getting those W's. And anything outside of that gets discarded, gets thrown away. So it's just,
does it get a little bit overwhelming with like all of the moving parts? Because it's not just you guys, like you have what, 26, 27 people here with you. Like I'm sure that kind of takes a lot of time to kind of maneuver around that.
Yeah, definitely. And to be fair, I mean, our managers, Tim and Ash, who are off camera at the moment, but they will attest to this, that it's a lot of long conversations, a lot of organising, a lot of WhatsApp texts, a lot of emails. These guys have no knowledge of how tough it is to organise something like this, but it's a lot of work, a lot of moving parts that have to come together for sure.
I know, 100%, but talking to you guys as the athletes, like I know whenever I fought on cards with my teammates, I would be like 10 times more nervous for their fights than my own fights. Like how do you each manage your own kind of emotions? Because I mean, Carlos, you're the first fight of the night. Israel, you're the last. I mean, that's not the first time as well. Like how do you kind of manage that? Because like I felt like I would have to manage myself to not have an adrenaline dump because I was so excited for my teammates.
Yeah, even today in sparring, Carlos and Brad were the first while we're sparring, and I'd be like pumping them up, but I still wouldn't get over hyped, you know. But yeah, we've done this before. Last time 4 of us were on the card was UFC 253 in Fire Island, and just experience controlling your breathing when, you know, one of them drops someone. Oh, you get hyped, but I don't get overhyped. So I show support and I don't get too attached because regardless, I still have my own job to do.
Right.
Yeah, and they understand.
Right, Brad, how do you deal with it?
I don't think it's very hard because a lot of us fought on the same cards pre-UFC.
Yep.
So like me and Carlos and Israel, and I think we did with Dan in China, but in China we used to fight on the same cards, and it was a lot different because like Carlos or whatever would go out and fight first, but you wouldn't be out there, so you'd only be listening.
Yep.
So that was like more stress because you don't know what's going on out there. You're just making things up in your head. Versus like at UFC, you can just watch on a TV. So I don't think it's like any stress at all. Just like watching them fight. Like I think it's like just watching them. They're just doing the same thing they do at the gym every day. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's really that hard to be honest. Yeah.
Dan, what about you?
I guess I just don't get that nervous or stressed about it because I know like how well they've prepared.
Yeah.
We've all been in it. We've all been in it together, and we've done absolutely everything we can to prepare. So I know how locked in they are. I know how well they're performing every day in the gym. So it's like it's our time as a collective to just go out there and perform.
Carlos, what is it like for you? Because I mean, you're always like the first of the guys. So
yeah, I was going to say.
sure
I mean, Dan's hit it on the nail. I'm usually the first, so I kind of just do my job, and then. And I guess I'm the curtain raiser, so and the boys will do their thing after. So yeah, I guess I just get everything out of the way first, for now anyway. Yeah.
Right. Well, Dan, you spoke about.
For now,
Yeah. Cheers.
You spoke about knowing how well that they've prepared, and when you look at experience, like Izzy, you've had over 100 martial arts fights. You've only had less than 10. Like. How have you as a team kind of really embraced passing on knowledge and really helping elevate the team as a whole?
Yeah, I guess we just learn off each other, eh? I mean, just being here as a group, as a team, we've got some of the guys who we've come along with from New Zealand, and the coaches have brought them all together. Just having the whole team there, the whole squad, everyone's just pushing each other. We're learning off each other, and just being motivated by each other. So I think that's a big part of the whole culture and team in this squad here at CKB. So yeah.
Right. And Dan, Brad, Izzy, like when you have somebody that is so young in the sport, and Carlos, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time, but in terms of fight time, you've had a lot less experience. But
he's had more than 10 though, more than 10 fights. Trust.
Well, in MMA. Oh,
MMA.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like, do you kind of take those people, like those younger people in the gym, under your wing and kind of almost mentor them in a way?
Sort of, a little bit. For me, doing these kind of things, because when it was just me on this card, my idea was just go back to the way me and Eugene did it back in Brazil or back in China. Go to a land, me and him normally, maybe Blood Diamond or one other person, smash some dudes, take a nice check or lump of cash we have to hide at customs, and then
Oh God.
yeah, allegedly, and then shoe
In my shoe.
yeah,
Always in a shoe.
and then bounce back. But then Dan got added, Carlos got added, Brad got added, and I was just like, I can't tell them people not to come support. So I was like, okay, let's get a nice spot that we can seclude away. Because I remember what it was like at UFC 230 in New York during fight week in the city, and I was like, nah, I'd rather be in a place where it's away from all the noise, and we only tap in when we need to. But yeah, bringing all these people and our teammates, it's just to show them what's possible and also bring them along because they've helped us. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So yeah, we bring them along for the ride as well. And mentoring, it's not really my forte, I'd say, but I know people sometimes look up to me and what I've done in the gym. So yeah, I don't know. I just keep living my life, but yeah, it is what it is.
Right, Dan? Like you've had a lot of experience.
Yeah, well, I'd say it's not anything like I'd talk to them after training or say, oh man, when you get to the door, knock 3. There's no need for instructions like that.
Yeah.
The best thing that I can do as a guy with a lot of experience is show up to the gym and just give it absolutely everything I have, like every single session. It's to perform, do well, to push myself to the absolute limit. So then someone like the younger guys at the gym, they can just look and be like, oh, this is what you have to do to get where he is. You know what I mean? So it's more just like being a strong example over just saying a bunch of words that don't really count for anything.
When you look from the outside in, it's very clear that Eugene is such a fundamental pillar of the gym and the community that you guys have fostered. And we talk about great coaches a lot and the best coaches, up for, nomination in the sport of MMA every year. But, you guys have always spoken so incredibly highly of Eugene. But, what would you think?
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. We love him.
I was going to say, he not only does a coach impart knowledge in the gym, how has he kind of helped you guys become better people outside of the wall of the cage?
I reckon Brad will take this one.
Brad?
Furthest one away from the knife.
First of all,
Answer the question.
Show him the knife first of all.
First of all, let me interject.
We don't want to get stabbed.
I don't know if my job is to make them better people outside of the sport. My job is to primarily make them good in the sport. And if there's an offshoot of that becoming a better person, then I'm happy for them. But I don't go into the gym and walk out of there saying I'm going to make Brad a better person. Brad's been an asshole since I met him. That's outside of the realm of my capabilities. So I can help Brad become a better fighter, but he's always going to be an asshole, As is these guys are assholes too, as far as I'm concerned. So, but I think I'm the sum of all my coaches and my coaches that help me. So I'm only as good as they are, and we support each other. So I want to make that clear that I have a coaching team, which is something unique. A lot of coaches, they do it on their own, and big respect to them. But I have a group of guys with me who don't want to be on camera. When the camera comes, they run the other way, and it's put a bit more pressure on me because now that kind of someone has to answer the camera, I guess. And if they become better people because of the training and because of becoming better fighters,
We're going to have the seat.
good on them.
Where's Mike?
Where's Mike?
Right there.
Brad,
You won't run. He'll dive if you.
We have one other coach that loves to be on the camera. We try to keep him off the camera.
He'll sit right there.
Yeah.
Brad, you have a rebuttal?
Yeah. But I always just said that, like, I'll always listen to Huge in regard to fighting, and I've always separated myself. When I was a lot younger, I used to like be very obsessed with just only fighting in my life, and so I try like separate my two lives now as I've gotten older, like gym and then outside. I try to run everything outside with just my family, and when I go to the gym, I solely listen to Eugene and the other coaches. And when I go out of the gym, I row my own boat.
I feel like I've given you some good parental advice over the years.
My daughter's flourishing, and ever since I left kept outside of the gym,
That work-life balance.
yeah. Nah, my wife does everything I don't do.
At least you're honest.
She's a star.
No, well, I'm going to transition into Oz, New Zealand type of MMA scene, and I feel like it's growing exponentially, particularly over the last couple of years. Obviously, with the rise of you guys and the success that you've had. You know, I remember when I first started, you guys were still training at Toga Muay Thai, and then you switched over to New Zealand. But Dan, I'm going to start with you first. Like, I feel like you've been around a really long time.
I'll just say we're Bang Tao guys now.
Yeah.
We're Bang Tao guys. We ain't Toga Muay Thai. We're Bang Tao.
Got it.
Yeah.
But how would you kind of talk about the rise of MMA in the Australian New Zealand scene right now? Because I feel like in the US, it's kind of been around for a lot longer, but it's definitely a little bit different back there.
Yeah, like Anzac contingent from when I first started following the sport to now is pretty ridiculous. Like them having no UFC events in New Zealand to what it is now with the champion and this many guys on the one card headlining Madison Square Garden. So the growth has just been kind of dumbfounding to watch. It's something that I would have never expected when I first started training and competing.
Israel, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much what he said. We just knew what we wanted to do, and then one by one, Dan kind of paved the way because he was the first. I remember when he shut down Spark Arena. This is our house. I always remember that, and even getting chills when I think about it. So from then to where we are now, it's amazing to watch, and then seeing all the younger guys as well coming up under us, and what they're about to do. Some of the guys here, man, they're beasts. You even have guys like Solly coming back, and he's been in the last 2 weeks shot up in his MMA game, just hanging out with us and being in the trenches. So yeah, more to come. Way more to come. Navajo, King of the Ring champion. He's a beast too. He's giving me good work, really good, solid work. Ben Boyce, the most dangerous player. Shout out to the most dangerous player in the game. Yeah, that's the beast right there. So yeah, from where we were to where we are now, and then I look forward to the future as well, to seeing the future young guys who, some of them even fought yesterday. Caden, Diddy, Forrest. Yeah, beasts.
Right, well, speaking of future, we've got UFC 284 in Perth in February of next year. Now it's a relatively short turnaround for most of you guys. Would you want to fight on that card, or is there anything, or is there any of the fighters that are kind of coming up that you want to see regionally on that card? Because that's a huge opportunity. That region, anytime a UFC card comes to Oz and Zed, it's everyone wants to get on it.
Yeah, I'll fight.
Yeah, I'll fight.
I don't get to watch, especially when it's on our side of the world. And also I feel like this is Volk's moment. Islam Volk, that's the headliner.
Yeah.
And I just want to sit there and have a bourbon and yell instructions and whatnot. But who am I thinking? Who would be a guy, Huge? Who's a guy that we could toes him up? How many fights he had?
7-0.
7-0. Yeah, toes him up is on.
Yeah, we got heaps of talent that can move into the UFC, but there's heaps in the region. There's a lot. There's a lot of talent.
Matt Bell, yep. The
Bell,
Viper.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bergen.
He definitely needs to be.
Anson Bird, yes. Bergen's ready. Being ready.
Hopefully it's just a good showcase for the talent that we've had over here that's been a bit dormant for the last few years because of COVID. So there's some guys here that have been working throughout COVID, haven't had a chance to just show themselves, and hopefully the UFC look on them fondly and make this a good showcase of Australian and New Zealand talent.
No, well, I'm going to get into some specific questions. We've got, obviously, we're at the end of the year, and there's always like Fight of the Year candidate, KO of the Year candidate. We're going to start off with KO of the Year. I'm going to start with you, Carlos. Of all of the fights to date, obviously we've still got a couple months left, what is your KO of the year so far?
I'll pass it on to Dan. Give me a bit of time to think about this one, because you need a bit of time. I think, so Dan, go ahead.
I like your KO. Mine's Carlos with the left hook. See ya!
That's the one. Oh, yeah. The change up. Okay. I'll pass it on to Izzy.
What are you, the interviewer?
There you go.
KO of the year. Was
Possible.
a good one.
I think Chandler's against Ferguson was
That's the one that's in my mind.
very surprising. I didn't think that a guy that short was going to throw a big long up kick like that, and we went out.
Dude, he was out for a
that
while.
was a pretty was a pretty gnarly knockout.
It's pretty gnarly.
I'm going to say, as much as I love both guys, and I heard it was bittersweet, Leon's was pretty, like, just the way it happened,
Right.
the story leading up to that. Didn't fights pulled, scratched eye on Bilal, no fights for so long, everyone counting him out. And then Kamaru whooped his ass already, then was whooping his ass on the way to a victory, and then the way that happened, and then seeing Tim in the cage, just emotional. It was all beautiful. So I'll give that would be my one. As much as that hurt me, that would be my KO of the year. Yeah.
Lucky last.
Yeah, I said they all. I'm gonna have to go with Eugene.
No.
You tell us.
No, I don't watch enough fights to even know who got.
Okay, so no KO of the year, Fight of the Year. What is your Fight of the Year candidate so far?
I'd say Cyril Gane and Tai Tuivasa. Ty's quite hard to put down,
He's an
but I
animal,
guess
man.
Cyril kind of figured him out, and it was quite nice, good to watch.
Right.
Good fight to watch
Right, so hard.
for me. Yeah.
Partying with ties seems like a hazard. But Dan, what would you be your Fight of the Year candidate so far?
No, you're gonna have to come back to me. I'm doing a Carlos. I'm doing a Carlos.
Right.
Honestly, don't watch too much UFC.
Yeah. There's so many fights, and I've seen so many great fights as well, even recently. There's some of these fight nights that just have bombers.
It takes our entire Sunday.
Yeah. It might be background music sometimes, but I think recent fight that just.
Yeah, there is just so many.
Yeah, so
the
many.
thing, it's like when you go.
Alex,
we love them all.
Max
Buffet.
We love them
Alex
all.
Max 3.
I go to TJ Maxx and there's so many different clothes. It's hard to pick something.
Does it have to be like fighting
You know what I mean?
like
It's
close?
like an analogy.
Does it have to be like a close fight?
Did you just say TJ Maxx?
It's a
He's
story.
a Ross guy. He's
Oh,
a
I
Ross
know.
guy. I thought you were a Ross guy.
Yeah, Ross, TJ Maxx.
Why don't?
Forget about it. Go Uncle Ross, man.
Okay, well since you
Does it
guys
have to be a
can't
close
make
fight, or can it just be a mean fight?
it can be any fight,
Oh, Volk against Max.
right? Dude, that was
He
a
like
clinic.
whitewashed him.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Dan,
we're all going. We're
Lucky
all
Love.
We all agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was like, and what are you gonna say now? You just-
Okay. So before I let you guys go, we're going to play a game called Rapid Fire.
Ooh, I like games.
So all I want is for you guys to just say the name, the first name that comes to your head after these questions. Okay.
Any name or just between us?
Can't say.
Well, I mean,
Can't
anyone
say
at the
shot,
gym,
Like
Okay, anyone's at the gym.
Anyone at the gym.
Ah, right.
specifically. So, who hits the hardest in training?
Oh, Ben Boyce.
Hemi out here.
Oh, Hemi. Okay, never
Hemi,
mind. Say
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hemi. He's a boxer from my gym. Shout out to Hemi, the Heat. He's even got these, like, when you have him in the clinch. You guys ever felt the ones when he's got his knuckles?
Just
and he
like
does
that.
Yeah.
He generates power from just I don't know.
Sends you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guy that boxer.
These two knuckles, he'll just boom.
When they had the old worn out Everlast. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, he
He
looks.
doesn't do his
made him buy
he
new
doesn't do his gloves up or his shoes.
I think
he
you've got
looks in
to.
fights like Mike Tyson. Like think a young prime
Oh,
teenage Mike
Lord.
Tyson.
I think you got to say two people. You got to say that amongst you guys who hits the hardest, and then.
Well, I said Carlos.
Yes.
He doesn't hit us the hardest, but
Carlos.
he can hit
He's
the
too
hardest.
nice, but he's got the hardest kicks in the gym.
Carlos, I've seen drop a few people with body shots over the years.
Okay, next one. Who has the biggest ego in the gym?
Not me. Don't say me. It's not me.
Dan.
Is it of us here?
Oh,
Yeah,
Not in the gym.
So you think,
all four of us. All four of us.
Oh, so we can only say us.
we got our own kind of ego. I guess we got our own stage of ego.
Everyone agree? Eugene has the biggest ego here.
Raise your hand. Raise your hands.
Everyone all agree?
Ego?
no one on the other side of that camera's going to believe.
See, they're all scared because you know why?
Dan's hands up. It's up.
Show him your knife. Exactly.
knife
That's an ego. That's an ego maniac.
He's got a-
They don't want to even raise their hands because they're threatened.
That close. That close to that.
Okay, who is the best looking?
Eugene.
That's the best response ever.
They were about to say it, so I took the words out of their mouth.
So, who has the biggest temper?
Eugene.
Yeah.
Look at the knife.
Yeah.
Just
Riddell.
Exhibit A. Show us your knife.
Riddell's got a temper.
Oh, he's used
I do,
to it. He's
I do.
calm.
Oh,
Read that book,
Ben Boyce.
Ferrari.
He read a book
sold the
and his
Ferrari or
temper went
whatever.
I
down.
calmed down a bit, but
Yeah, he's calmed down
He's
since
like
that
a
book.
kettle, like it's like constantly letting off
Yeah.
a little bit.
100%
Say,
Ben
like,
Boyce.
Well, Eugene.
goes,
Eugene is
he
definitely.
goes, you know?
Eugene just out of nowhere. Don't get me
Firework.
started. I'll
You guys forgot about Ben.
I'll spill the tea right now.
He goes,
Ben, 100% Ben.
I'll spill
I
the
don't
tea
spar
right
him.
now.
Spar him.
Okay,
Ben.
so who
Oh, Ben,
is
yeah.
the messiest?
Israel.
Eugene. I don't room with this guy anymore. There's a reason. Look at my room right now. My bed is laid. My bed, wallahi.
We do a bed inspection.
My bed
we
is
do a
laid.
bedroom inspection.
Bro, go have a look at his room right now. My bed is laid.
I'm going to
My
need you
bed
to
is
stand
laid.
outside your door.
Kai
so I
vowed
go
never to
inspect.
room with you because you piss on the toilet seat constantly.
No, I don't. No, that's Kai can't even clean his motherfucking shit. I vowed not to room with you because I've roomed with you. I've roomed with you. Let's go ahead. Okay, wait. Pause.
hey, we're going there. We're going there.
Let's have a look at our beds right now and see whose bed's made. Every morning I lay my bed because it's discipline.
Kai Cara
Go have a look. Go have a look. Kai wakes me up at 6. Oh, I had a sandwich last night. Get out of here. Nah, I'm fine. Okay, calm down.
Kai
calm
Cara
down.
France, Instagram him and
I
ask
love you,
him.
Kai. I love you, Kai. But you know, I'm
Let's stop riding the bikes.
Hey, that was a circumstance. That was quarantine. That was like third or fourth quarantine. Okay, that was different.
I just didn't care what the toilet was anymore.
Yeah, I just
Oh, I remember that time when you
Yeah.
and Kai were, you
Yeah,
guys hated
exactly.
each other.
That's what I mean. That's what he does. No more lying or sarcasm. If you want to do a bed inspection right now, a room inspection right now, I've hung up all my clothes.
I'm changing my
bed is-
angriest to this guy. Right? Next question. Angry.
This is a touchy subject.
We got 5 more questions.
Next question.
Okay, next one. Who's the funniest?
Funniest.
Oh, that's going to be hard. 'cause None of us are funny.
Okay.
Depends.
Who has the best style?
I'd say
I'm out.
me.
Me.
Eugene.
Because he says you.
Off cheese cutter.
I'll say me.
Cheese cutter.
Hey, you got to go for Oosh, yeah.
I'll say me, man. Like, you
I'll
have to
give him
always
that. Yeah,
see
you know
yourselves,
what?
man.
Respect. Yeah, he
have to
has
see
good style.
yourself.
I've seen.
You can't-
I've seen his boat shoes. I see him.
Okay. Who is the best chef in the group?
Oh, probably.
Come on now. Don't,
Oh yeah, I hear.
don't take that
During
away.
quarantine, I was alright, but you know.
What's the specialty?
I'll do anything.
Shut up,
Anything?
I can do anything.
bro.
I reckon,
I got
I reckon
videos.
Brad.
I got videos.
He's got Uber Eats 17
Bro.
times. Since we
It's not quarantine.
he cooks
Quarantine. Hey, bro, I'm very coachable. I can follow a recipe. I'll tell you that much. I can say that much. But we're not in quarantine. We've got Uber Eats now, so shut
follow
up. Next
simple
question.
instructions.
Forget about it.
Okay.
Forget about it.
Who do you give the aux cord to when you're in the car?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Yeah,
Me.
I'll give it a go.
Who would you give the aux cord to when you're in the car?
Oh,
Me.
maybe it is. Yeah.
I
Is
mean, VO2 Max, I get it going.
Yeah.
I do the party. I get the party going. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, last one. Who is the biggest troublemaker?
Like at training?
I mean, of the four of you.
Are we drinking or?
Training, whatever your heart desires to take this.
I'm trying to think. Brad's pretty chill. You get cheeky.
Probably think Hooker, eh?
Nah, yeah, Hori.
Hooker.
Yes,
Hori
Dan.
Hooker.
Dan, yeah.
Hori Hooker.
When he drinks, he like the
West
Morai
Auckland
hooker
comes
comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets real.
West Auckland, Dan.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a drink of hooker. Hey,
Auckland,
I've never had one.
I've seen, but also I've even heard stories of Fly Island.
Strike Force Dan.
Dan boys.
Very down with anyone.
And boys,
Well,
perfect.
Oh, is that yours?
he's just there with it.
My man's there like, yeah, that's right.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.